Hi there, and aloha again from what's now a beautiful evening here in Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'm kind of testing the band strength today. I've been making videos today, and I see that the band strength is uh, going up and down. I'm going to have to call AT&T about that. But anyway, I'd like to talk tonight about this wonderful video on the law of allowing. When I first got into Abraham in 1999, of course, the major focus of Abraham was the law of deliberate creation. And what got so many of us so excited was the idea that we could deliberately create our future based on our desires and our preferences and our dreams and our wishes, and that we had the ability to transform our innermost desires and feelings into the outer world. Well, obviously, this is absolutely true on every level. For years and years and years and years, I wanted to live here. And by using so many of these strategies, actually there's spiritual principles taught all the way back to ancient Egypt. Jesus taught them, Moses used them, Buddha taught them, Lao Tzu. I mean, all through history, you hear that thought becomes form. What is so unique now, however, about the teaching of Abraham, and especially this teaching tonight about the power of the law of allowing? This is something really new for me. I'm finally getting this, that we cannot force God or force the universe to do it, whatever it is, whatever our dream is, whatever our wish is, either on our timetable or according to our recipe. It's very important to get that, because that's the crux of understanding the true meaning of this very mysterious and extremely important law of allowing. I myself am beginning to finally, because I am basically a control freak, having been a teacher all of my life, I really did a lot of controlling, had to do a lot of controlling. I was paid to be a controller, had to control vast numbers of wild children, and it's actually quite wonderful not to have to do that right now, not to have to do that anymore. But in this law of allowing, I am beginning to get the missing ingredient that is so often the stumbling block between us closing the gap between this physical identity right now and what Esther describes as the vortex, the vibrational escrow, the world, the parallel universe energy vortex, where our expanded God self, our divine inner being, our evolved self, our future self, is already living the dream. For example, I have two dreams that are very potent in my energy system right now. The dream of getting my book, Uncle Tom's Classroom, and its message into the public conversation. Another dream that I have involves making documentary films with Michael Brewer, the brilliant filmmaker in Switzerland, Word and Image Online, about the gay contribution, spiritual, metaphysical, creatively, in all aspects, to the many cultures of the world, the contribution that has been so ignored and maligned, and yet has been so important in the unfolding of the best of our civilizations. That also is a dream, to stand up side by side with Michael and answer the world and say, in our own humorous way, as we do in Out and About with Brewer and Berg, to say, look at the contribution. Let's celebrate the contribution. Let's include the contribution. These dreams, these two creative dreams right now, the dream of seeing Uncle Tom's Classroom, how one public school teacher awakened his students to the cosmic super self within, to see that rise into being a bestseller on the New York Times best-selling list, to see it pulling me into a galactic vortex of energy where I will be talking with people in power and influencing people in power, and actually becoming a player in the redesign of education, in the sense that bringing finally to consciousness the idea that our children have been treated as slaves, and yet our children hold in their DNA the very key. They have been born with it. They have brought it to earth, of these cosmic super potentials, these cosmic powers, which, if unleashed, could in fact lift the entire vibration of our civilization high enough to be able to go through all of the changes predicted for the years around 2012 in a way that will lead us into the golden age that has been predicted by so many native cultures and so many traditions, this Christ God age that will lead us there without so much disaster in between the two epochs. We're in between these two epochs. So anyway, I have these two dreams percolating, and I am absolutely convinced that as I do the inner work to find the thoughts and feelings that are in alignment with this, with my vibrational escrow, with the future parallel universe that already exists, where our documentary films are acclaimed throughout the world, where we have a TV series and the series is well respected and in fact beloved in the world, where my book has become a #1 bestseller, and my message has become a major part of the public conversation, the need to give our children freedom of speech so they can discover who they are while there is still time to discover their cosmic superpowers, which will give them the ability to help save our civilization. It's all connected. And what I am so happy now to understand through the Abraham teachings, is that to allow these dreams to manifest is to believe, to have faith, and to most of all be in love with the dreams and the joy of the experience of the dream, so that we can ride the rockets of our wishes into the actual manifestation and live those parallel realities in the new worlds that our own hopes and wishes create. So I'm about out of time right now, and I wish you all the best from Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha.